everyone. Welcome to PA215, your Capstone course for the Pharmacy Technician program. We are now in week 9, so you are almost to the end, and I am so excited for you guys. So this week we are going to be doing something a little bit different as well. You still have your project to be working on, so you still have the rest of this week and up until Thursday of next week to complete your project. Remember, your project is your resume and your cover letter for the course. So keep in mind that you're not just doing it for class. This is also going to be used by career services. So going back to what we said last week, make sure that everything is current, up to date, accurate, and make sure that your resume and cover letter reflect what you're interested in. So don't just make one to be making one. Make it so that it's going to work for you. So so that's a big thing to keep in mind about your project that you're working on. Now, the next thing that you're going to be working on this week is your discussion post. Now, this week's discussion post is on something called smurfing. And if you've never heard of smurfing, or if you've heard of smurfing and thought it was the little blue people, that's not what we're talking about. When we talk about smurfing in the pharmacy world, what we're talking about are people that are obtaining medications in order to make methamphetamine. So what they're doing is they're going from pharmacy to pharmacy to pharmacy to get the ingredients for methamphetamines so that they can, make and sell meth. So what you're going to want to understand is, what are the laws regarding methamphetamines and the ingredients for purchasing them in the state that you're going to be working in. Now, we're all covered by the Methamphetamine Act, the Combat Methamphetamine Act. So there are laws that are already in place, but of course some states have even more laws and more strict regulations regarding the products that are going into methamphetamines. If you don't know what those things are, I would highly recommend that you Google smurfing. The things that you're typically going to be seeing people purchase in a pharmacy that are used in the production of meth are going to be those products that contain pseudofed or pseudoephedrine. So those are the things typically kept behind the counter that patients are going to have to sign for. And as you know from one of our scenarios earlier in the course, some people aren't aware of it. They can kind of get somewhat angry about having to sign, especially if they're not doing things inappropriate with it and they don't understand. So kind of keep that in the back of your mind as well. So make sure that you're aware of the details regarding that, and what would you do? How would you handle that particular situation? And also keep in mind that the pseudoephedrine is just one small part of the things that people use to make meth. There are other things that are used as well. So depending on where you live, you might have other issues that you might run across. For example, I live in a very rural area of southern Illinois, and they use fertilizer also in the production of meth. So that is a problem for our farmers. They use, anhydrous ammonia and things like that. Another little side note, if you ever are around someone's home and they have an extreme smell of cat urine or cat litter kind of a smell, and they don't have a cat, that's a pretty good indication that they're cooking meth. So just kind of keep that in the back of your mind as well. Once again, this week I recommend that you have these 2 books handy as you start to take your quiz, because these are going to be your best reference tools. Now, if you haven't already, make sure that you also look at my test taking strategies video. This video kind of goes over what to expect when you take the PTCB exam. So it's going to tell you a little bit about how to prepare before you take the exam. Make sure that you get plenty of sleep. Try to put things out of your mind so that your mind is clear. Make sure that you know how to get to the test site, that you allow yourself yourself plenty of time, that you set your alarm clock, that you eat or don't eat depending on you, because obviously all of us are a little bit different when it comes to that, but you don't want to be hungry and grouchy and hangry when it's time to take your test. You want to make sure that you're there on time. You want to make sure that you have your photo ID with you. You won't be allowed to have anything else in there, so that they will put things in a locker for you at the testing site if you bring other things. You want to make sure that you use the restroom. They will check up in your pockets, up your sleeves. They're going to do a palm scan. They're going to make sure you haven't, written anything on your arms, things like that. So this video kind of goes over all of those things to kind of help you prepare. So I recommend that you go through and look at that. Also, if you have any specific questions about taking that PTCB exam or anything else in the course, preparing your course project, please make sure that you reach out to me. You can email me, you can call me. And as always, with any questions, please let me know how I can help you, and have a great week.